Patriots. I just wanted to say thank you to all of my subscribers, as well as those who have donated to my channel. I couldn't maintain this channel without you, and your support is greatly appreciated. If you would like to make a donation, there is a Stripe link in the description. And with that said, let's go ahead and start the update. Hello Patriots. So today we are in for a treat. I was able to do a phone interview with Commander Thor where he shares some of the latest intel on the operations going on in Geneva and answers questions about nuclear weapons and chemtrails. So with that said, let's go ahead and start the interview. I have Commander Thor on the line from Geneva. I had a few questions and he offered to answer these questions for me. Hello, Commander Thor. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello, Mary. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much for taking my call. The first question I have is the uranium missiles and nukes. We keep hearing threats of nuclear war, nuclear weapons being used, depleted uranium missiles. Can you tell us, are we in any threat from this and why we would be safe from any nuclear war?
Okay, so all of the nukes have been disarmed except for those that are in submarines. I understand that your question was concerning the UK and sending depleted
uranium
to Ukraine if the Russians take Kyiv or strike Kyiv. The depleted uranium is a dirty bomb, and just for an example, if it was fired off and hit Moscow, Moscow would be the only city affected, and then of course, depending on the wind, it would affect, other parts of the country. But it's not like a nuclear bomb that if it hit Moscow, then it would take out hundreds of miles, surrounding Moscow. All of the UK can send all of the, depleted dirty bomb uranium missiles to Ukraine. And if for whatever reason Zelensky feels like he needs to start firing them off, then they will be taken out immediately by the light beings. Now these are depleted uranium missiles that may have been hidden and the light beings didn't locate them or detect them. But in any case, it doesn't matter because if they're fired off, they'll be taken out immediately. And if they're brought out into the open and light beings detect them, they'll take them out right on the launch pad or wherever they fire them off from. So, no one's in danger. The nukes have been disarmed. Like I said, some in submarines, the light beings can't take them out because they would kill the people in the sub. So if they're ever fired off, they'll be taken out immediately. So even Russia's hypersonic radiation tsunami missile, that would be taken out immediately if it was ever fired off. So no one's in danger. It's all a show. It's all optics. It's all to wake up the people. But yes, all the nukes have been disarmed.
And can you remind us again who the light beings are for those who are unfamiliar with that topic?
Light beings are 90 and above. They're called light beings because they glow and they're also transparent. They can take the form of any being who they wish to communicate with. They don't need ships to come to planet Earth, but they do in order to eradicate any of the reptilian who have ships that are trying to leave. There's a Gate 10. Earth is surrounded by a bubble, and there's a Gate 10, which these Draconian and Reptilian are trying to escape through. At that gate are Secret Space Force and Galactic Federation. And when the ships show up, they try to make deals to, be able to leave. And then they make communication back to the other Reptilian and Draconian who want to leave. And so Galactic Federation Space Force will say, yes, it's a deal. We won't, eradicate you. You can leave as long as you never come back. And then that word spreads to the rest of the evil that's on the planet, and they all start heading for Gate 10. On the other side of Gate 10, when it's open, the light beings are cloaked, and when these reptilians come through, they get eradicated immediately. So it's just one big trap. And that's the only reason the light beings need to have ships. They can just, if they want, they can materialize on the planet, take the human form, and just mix in. The Venusian, including myself, have come in because we resemble humans. You couldn't tell us apart unless, we happen to see our 6 fingers and 6 toes, but other than that, we come in and we just infiltrate different governments and try to prevent, any wars, any so-called nukes. But we've been doing this for, the last 50 or 60 years, and there's never been a nuke exploded since we've been here. But the reasons that they never have been launched is because of our infiltration and that they were disarmed. All the countries that have nukes don't know that their missiles and nukes were disarmed. So they can ship them, send them, fire them off all they want. The missile will land, but the nuclear warhead will be taken out before the missile lands. And then when the missile lands, it might just, take out a building or whatever falls on. But no, no one has to be in fear. It's like I said, it's all a show. Humans have to be shown that the evil that they've been enslaved in for the last 1,000 years or so, you can't tell them. You have to show them. You have to wake them up. And this is the only way to go about it. So the governments are infiltrated, and the light beings are under the planet, including myself, in level 5 in Geneva, and the light beings are in the atmosphere. They're in space, and we are just eradicating these demons as fast as we see them. They're liquefied or just get burned to a crisp, depending on who has what weapon. But the evil's being eradicated in the sky, in space, on the planet, under the planet. The chemtrails are treating with a purifying agent the air, the ground, and the water. And the light beings put element 115 on Pentium into the chemtrails, which is basically smothering the reptilian shapeshifters so they have to go on the ground. And when they go on the ground, that's where we are waiting for them. And so right now, level 5 is over 300 miles long. The tunnel, it's ancient tunnel. And just yesterday, as we were doing our reconnaissance, we came across approximately 12 reptilians sitting there grunting back and forth to each other, and we just said hello, and they looked, and their eyes got real big, and we turned them into puddles. So that's what we're doing now. We're just taking it nice and slow. We have eradicators at the entrances and the exits, and there are probably, we've come across like 50 different offshoot tunnels that are going in different directions off the main tunnel. So we are exploring the offshoots. If they get wind of us and they start heading, to another tunnel or through the main tunnel, and we have, like I said, eradicators waiting for them, just turn them all into puddles. But a lot of them feel like they're safe, so they're on the different levels, and they just go to the deepest part of that level, and they just sit and wait. And then they're waiting on the hybrids who can breathe on the surface. They're just waiting for them to bring them children to eat and not sacrifice, because they're not satanic. They're straight up demons, evil reptilians from the planet Nibiru. They've been here for they landed on Earth 400,000 years ago, and half of them left 190,000 years ago, and the rest have infiltrated all top government. All the elites are reptilian. That's why they call the royals blue bloods, because that's the reptilian blood, and they're all about enslaving humanity and just taking children and not sacrificing them, just basically eating them. This satanic evil tortures the children to get the adrenochrome. These would be the mankind hybrids, not humankind, mankind, kind of like man, but they're hybrids, and they do the satanic rituals and drink the blood, consume the body. And we haven't come across any children on level 5 yet, but we've only gone approximately 50 miles. And then we have light beings on level 2, and that tunnel is over 1,000 miles long. So we're coordinating back and forth as to where they're at and when do they expect to be done before they move down. And we're doing the same as to when we can move up to level 4. So right now it's level 5 and level 2. I'm assuming that level 2 is going to take them a lot longer than us. And if that's the case, then we will just hunker down on level 5 after it's cleaned and everything is eradicated. And like I said, it's over 300 miles long. We've only gone about 50 miles in the last 3 days. So we haven't come across any children yet, but still another 250 miles to go, plus all the offshoot tunnels. So we're exploring the offshoot tunnels because we have eradicators on the main tunnel entrance and exit. So if they feel like they can escape that way, then they just get turned into puddles. The offshoot tunnels, we have approximately 1,000 light beings under Geneva, with 500 on level 5, 500 on level 2. So we're just taking our time, and looking for booby traps, as we know how to detect those now. And that they only have one kind of a booby trap, so it's basically like a tripwire, but it's light and it's dark down there, and the light I can only describe it as a light, but it's transparent. So with our infrared and night vision, the light shows up, very clear, so we know, where they're at and how to disarm them. But other than that, that's about all the information I have for you right now. Like I said, we're taking it nice and slow. We're trying. All we have to do is, use our noses, because they smell really bad. And if we start smelling them as we're coming through a tunnel, then we just elevate, levitate, however you want to put it, and we just glide in. And then we say hello, and their eyes get real big, and they're grunting in fear, and we say hello, and then we just start swinging a hammer and eradicating anything that moves, reptilian, draconian, archons, chimeras, all non-human beings get eradicated. We only say hello so we can just see the look on their faces as we laugh and the smile as we just start turning them into huddles. So that's what we're doing right now, taking it nice and slow and just using our noses and our hearing and our vision, and we look for signs of where they may have encamped and sat down and wait for these hybrids to bring them food, which is basically children.
Yuck. That's
so
awful.
They're not on the surface anymore, not the pure blood reptilian, draconian, archons, and the creatures they've created, the chimeras. They're just sitting there, waiting for the hybrids to bring them food. And anything that comes down into the tunnel gets eradicated. We don't allow anything to come in the tunnels. And if they have children that are alive, then we just rescue the children and liquefy the demon. So that's what's going on right now. And as far as the nukes go, no one has to be in fear. They've all been disarmed, except for the countries that have, the nuclear missiles in their submarines. And if they're fired off, they'll just, be disarmed immediately. And as far as Great Britain, like I said, they can send all the dirty bombs they want. If they haven't already been disarmed, just to be safe, if they're fired off, the white beams will disarm them immediately, regardless of whether there's a pure 100% plutonium, uranium, hydrogen, or they could have nothing in them. Depleted uranium is hard to detect because it's basically used to just take out a city, not the whole country. If they did that, then and the winds were blowing the wrong way, it would take out, the perpetrators who fired off the missile. If Russia has 50-mile-an-hour winds that are blowing towards Ukraine, and they drop a pure 100% uranium nuclear bomb, then they would be killing themselves. So they think they can get away with dirty bombs and just take out, one city at a time. But that's not going to happen. So no one has to live in fear. It's just a nuclear scare event. It's just part of the show. But, don't be afraid and don't live in fear, because the light beings have this covered. So everyone just sit back, relax, put a smile on your face, and just take in all the evil that's being taken out. I know a lot of patriots say things aren't getting done, but if you look at the amount of things that have to be taken out, it's just, between the child trafficking, the cartels are being taken out, the Satanists are being taken out, the elites are being taken out, world governments are being taken out. I think it just goes on and on. And the light beings are taking care of the chemtrails. And the passenger jet airliners that are the ones dropping the chemtrails, the light beings, if it was just a pilot, because the pilots that are doing this have no family, no friends, and are paid double the amount of a normal airline passenger pilot. because they know they're never on the ground. They land, they fill up those planes again, and the pilot takes off. And then when they land again, they'll switch pilots and just keep doing the same thing. But if it was just those pilots in the planes doing that, the light beams would just vaporize the plane, and there would be no wreckage or anything. It would just be gone. So, but since they have passengers on there, they can't do it. So now the planes are flying in and out of chemtrails, and they're flying them. So no one has anything to fear. Don't live in fear. Like I said, everything is being taken care of, and the little bit of information that's coming out, like in your report, Mary, it should just giving the patriots a little taste of things that are happening. As far as Nesara, Nesara has been pushed back to June, and new elections have been pushed back to June. I don't have any timeline on the EBS. As far as President Trump getting arrested, if he does, it'll be either a clone or the deep state actor who's wearing a Trump mask. So it won't be Trump. And then once this clone or a mask wearing actor gets arrested, it takes out two birds with one stone. It shows all the dirty, evil, corrupt government officials and politicians. And so the two birds with one stone are the corrupt officials get exposed and taken out, MSM gets taken out, and then the White Hats will go in and rescue this clone or mask wearer, and then take him straight to Gitmo and hang him. So that's your two birds with one stone, but it won't be Trump. Trump will be in Cheyenne. Okay. So I don't know if I covered everything.
Yeah, you gave us a really good update. Covered a lot of topics, so thank you very, very much.
Well, you're welcome, Mary. Did you have any other questions?
Not at this time, but I definitely would like to interview you again on the phone like this, if we could, in the next coming week.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Because at this time, I'm really unable to leave comments. If I do, they're really short. Like the other day, I just said, thank you, Mary. You know everything that you do for us, and we really appreciate and love you. And then I just said I would be giving an update in a couple of days, but right now I'm extremely busy, turning these demons into puddles.
Well, we appreciate that very much.
You're welcome, and it's so nice to talk to you, Mary.
Yes, thank you very, very much for giving us your time, giving us a great update, and for all that you do and all the, pass along to the light beings how much we appreciate all they're doing as well. So
yes, I do that on a regular basis. If I get a chance to read some of the comments, a lot of patriots say, Godspeed and prayers and blessings for your injury, and pass along, our gratitude and prayers for the light beings, which I do on a regular basis. I'm like 95% healed, so that allowed me to join my light being families on level 5. And like I said, these tunnels are long, so there's booby traps, there's different pockets of different evil that are being eradicated, and there's different offshoot tunnels. And then the light beings of level 2, that tunnel is so long, it's going to take them time to eradicate everything and rescue the children. We haven't come across any children yet, and I believe that's because they're all shaking in their pants, and they're all just trying to hide out. They're not trying to make commotion or have children screaming. because they know that we're coming after them.
Right.
They're just trying to hide, and they're waiting on the hybrids to bring them food, but that's not going to happen either, because we'll eradicate them as soon as they pop in.
All right. That's great. Thank you very much for telling us all that, giving us a picture of what's going on. A lot of us don't really understand what it looks like down there. So that gives us a clear picture of what's happening. So thank you very much, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Okay, well, thank you, Mary, and myself and the light beings and all the patriots. We really appreciate everything that you do every day, getting the word out and trying to wake up the brain dead, and we appreciate it. So thank you, and you're welcome.
Thank you, and you're welcome. All right. Well, hopefully we'll have another interview pretty soon with an update. So thank you, and we'll say goodbye.
Okay, well, goodbye, Mary, and you take care of yourself and be safe.
Okay, you too. Thank you so much, and you be safe and get better. Heal fast.
Say hello to all the patriots for me.
I will. All right, thank you. Bye-bye. I have some additional intel that was relayed to me after we did the phone interview from Commander Thor regarding Nesara and elections. He said that Nesara and new elections have been pushed back to June due to the arrests of some black hats, and they're giving up some of the top brass. So new arrests are taking place. Also, the fake Biden has to be out of the fake White House in order for Nesara to be announced. So again, thank you to Commander Thor for the intel, and also for your help in rescuing children and eradicating the evil underground. Thank you also to our light being friends that are here helping us to eradicate evil underneath the earth and rescue children. Humanity just doesn't know how fortunate we are to have this help. So with that said, I will see you on the next video.